Today you're in for a gripping story of love, revenge, and betrayal. Be sure to share your opinion at the end of the story. What would you do if you were betrayed? Have you been betrayed? Have you been cheated on? Give us a like and subscribe. Enjoy the story. Me, F21, and my boyfriend, M24, were together 2.5 years before he came to my house one day and admitted to cheating on me at a party he was at a day before. I was completely heartbroken and did not see it coming at all. He told me about how we were not in the same place in our lives and that we shouldn't stay together. He actually broke up with me that day, but don't get me wrong, I would have broken up with him if I got there first. Cheating means we're done, and he knew that. A few weeks later, he comes by to pick some things up and says he needs to tell me something else. He looks me in the eyes and admits to having cheated before 4 months prior to what I believe was his first time cheating. To be honest, I could not believe it and I was shattered all over again. It felt like a big part of the relationship was a lie. Now, let me give you a bit of context about the cheating. A month before the first time he cheated, I broke up with him because my mental health was declining and it would do me more harm than good if I stayed with him. Or so I thought. We missed each other extremely, and a few weeks after the breakup we were back together again. The first time, which he only admitted to after the second time, was on a getaway with friends in a different city a few weeks after we decided to have a relationship again. He was in a club, extremely drunk, and a girl comes up to him and kisses him. He says it only lasted a few seconds and he was so shocked by it happening he didn't pull back immediately. After, he asked his friends to not tell me and ultimately decided to not tell me as well. He says this is because we had just gotten back together and he was just very insecure and anxious about our breakup a month before. He also names this as one of the reasons he kissed with someone else. Flash forward 4 months, and the second time happens. He was at a party from friends, and he got extremely drunk, talked about his insecurities about our relationship, which probably existed due to him cheating and lying about it for months, with his friends and strangers there. He drinks some more and one of those strangers convinces him he's better off single and tells him to kiss her so that his relationship is over. He does. He kisses her in the bedroom of his friend. The next day, our 5-year anniversary, he comes to my house and says he kissed someone else. We break up. Okay, the following weeks I was broken and helpless. Some days got by okay, others were so hard to get through. He begged me to take him back and says he made a dumb mistake by cheating on me and breaking up with me. I did not want to get back together, and he dared to say it is now my fault that we break up. I am okay with that, but I do think it is a bit childish for him to say the breakup is my fault. This does not take away that I did not miss him extremely, though. One day, a few months after the cheating and breakup happened, we saw each other again and frankly decided to low-key see each other again. I was in such a bad place mentally, and I felt so lonely that I just decided that I wanted to be with him. Not in a relationship, not ever again, because I have principles, but we started seeing each other in the evenings and also started sleeping together again. I was very clear on not having a relationship because I was so broken and still so mad about everything. I was just selfish because I didn't want to be alone. Then after a month of this, I went to a festival, got very drunk, and went home with a random guy. We slept together, which was a first time for me, with a stranger. The days after this, I felt a bit better about the whole situationship with my ex, because it kind of felt like I was able to move on after one of the worst things imaginable, for me, happened to me. I do not speak to my ex anymore. That's mainly because I just cannot be with a cheater, and secondly because he has been getting sad and mad at me for sleeping with someone else. In my honest opinion, I think he is a hypocrite because he cheated while in the relationship, and I never cheated because there wasn't anyone to cheat on. He says I did cheat in a way, and I get extremely sad hearing that. Of course, it wasn't a smart move from my side, but I would never, ever cheat if I was in a relationship with someone. It just kind of feels unfair for him to say that, but if it helps him, sure. I am also sure we will never get back together again, something I never thought I would say a year ago. I just wanted to get this off my chest. Thanks for reading until the end, I appreciate it. TLDR, my ex cheated on me 2 times, we broke up, Low-key started seeing each other again and I slept with someone else and now my ex says I betrayed him. My birthday is around the corner, December 2nd. Weeks prior I was repeatedly hinting to my girlfriend, now ex, that I wanted a PS5, and 5 days ago I was surprised when my girlfriend came back home after getting her hair done with a PS5 in hand. Even though I was dropping hints, I had never actually expected she'd go through with it and buy me one. I was even working extra shifts, trying to save up for other things, but I joked about the PS5 because, why not? Who wouldn't want one? I didn't even expect a response, honestly. But then, she showed up that evening, with her hair freshly done and holding a PS5 box. I couldn't believe it. My hands shook as I held it, staring at the sleek white box. A new one. Not used, not refurbished. And let me tell you, I enjoyed every second of removing the PS5 from that box. We set up the console and I downloaded a few games, BO6, Black Myth Wukong, and RE Village, just to list a few. The night was going well. Then, as I sat back on the couch, I noticed her phone on the coffee table. It buzzed, the screen lighting up with a notification. My eyes caught the name Joshua. I tried not to look. I really did. But my curiosity got the best of me. I wasn't even trying to snoop, it was just there, right in front of me. I reached for my drink, my eyes drifting to the phone. The text that appeared was, "I can't wait to see you later, baby." After reading that text I was beyond furious, but I kept my composure. Minutes later my girlfriend walked out into the living room and I asked her if she had any plans for the rest of the day, and she said something along the lines of, "I'm about to go hang out with a few of my girlfriends, hopefully the PlayStation will keep you busy. See you later, babe." And just before she was about to leave I said, "Tell Joshua I said hi." We had an on-call argument for half an hour about how he was just a friend and I should respect her privacy. Anyways, I kicked her out of the house and she's coming to pick her stuff up the day after Thanksgiving. I'm not even going to help her, I'm just going to sit back, playing games on my PS5 and not even speak to her. TLDR, my girlfriend cheats on me with a guy named Joshua. After just buying me a PS5, I confronted her as she was leaving to meet up with him, and we had a half an hour long argument on the phone. She's coming over the day after Thanksgiving to grab her stuff, and I'm just going to be playing video games. I was a diver in the Navy in the early 90s, yup, it's one of those, and I was married to, I'm going to call her Sharon, for about 8 years up to that point, had 2 kids who I absolutely adored. We had problems like every married couple, and I had an idea she had cheated, but she was very clever, and I couldn't prove anything. So long story short, we lived on the side of a mountain overlooking the naval base, and our ship was going to do a run up the coast to another base as we had been in refit for a few months. We set sail about 10 a.m. and did some stuff in the bay while we tested our systems etc. and then headed for the other base. About 6 p.m. we had catastrophic steering failure and we had to turn back using emergency steering, and a tug was sent to recover us and tow us back. We eventually came alongside about 8:30 p.m. Our captain said we could either stay on board or go home, so my mate who lived a few roads down from me said he'd give me a lift as I had run to work that morning. He dropped me at T. He started my road and I walked to my place. I get there and there's a strange car on my verge. The house is pretty much in darkness. As I walk to the front door, I look at our bedroom window and I see a bit of light through the curtain, so I know the side table light is on. It's red, as she used to have a scarf that covered it that we used to use when we had sex. So, alarm bells are going off at this stage. I open the door and I immediately hear her. She was loud when she had sex. I grabbed the first item I could, which was my son's cricket bat, which is the only reason he is alive today, as if it had been an adult bat he would be dead. I walked into the room to see her getting pounded doggy by some dude. I clocked him with the bat in the head, grabbed him by the hair and dragged him down the passage to get him outside, where I started beating the shit out of him. My neighbors eventually came out and pulled me off, but by this stage he was badly hurt. Not going to lie, I did try and beat him to death. I got arrested by the military police and taken away. They were fantastic, by the way, didn't put me in a cell and treated me well, as they all had empathy with the situation. So, what happened next? My ex was taken to her mom, who was babysitting the kids so she could bonk her sperm donor. I saw a magistrate in the morning and was sent home, I got charged by the civilian police with attempted murder and a few other things. I got a 5-year sentence for attempted murder, suspended for 3 years. I had to pay him about $5,000 in my currency, which was garnished from my pay. I had to pay his doctor's bills, which I never paid a cent to because, fuck him, they stitched his ear and part of his scalp back on, but the biggest problem was his car insurance company. When I got back to my house the next day, it looked like a war zone, blood everywhere, broken windows, etc. His car was still there, and I found his keys and wallet. I took all his cash because, fuck him, and then took his keys and drove his car to an area and pushed it down the mountain. I fought the insurance company for years, but ultimately never gave them a blue cent. There's so much more that happened. I wish I could say we all lived happily ever after, but we didn't. We split up for about 3 months, and then the naval social workers got involved and pressured me to give her another chance, but that was doomed, as I not only didn't trust her, I actively disliked being anywhere near her. I tolerated her for about 2 years and then divorced her. Over the next few years, I pieced together what she did during our marriage, and it's an ugly and sordid story and probably a Reddit thread of its own. I have an amazing relationship with both my kids from my first marriage now, but for a long time their mom poisoned them against me. When my daughter was about 17, she sat me down and asked for my side of events, warts and all. Once we got that out of the way, our relationship grew to the point now that we are very close. My son was very young and didn't really know what was happening because I shielded them from her a lot, but sadly, they have learned what she is like over the years, and now they are both no contact with their mom. What would you think of this story? Leave your opinion in the comments. Thanks for watching.